Hello, everyone. Welcome back to the Three Quarter Time podcast. We've got TDUB and Janus here. How are we, lads?
Oh, we're great.
Yes, very good.
Footy's back. How can you not be
We've got an
good?
Exactly.
And
We've got
it's
an
not
upgraded microphone.
Yep. Got a lot of feedback on that
started with
last
the
week.
whimper. Only had 2 games. Oh yes, your microphone.
Got a
It was
lot
like
of
you're out the
feedback.
back in the shed, cowboy.
It was poor.
But it's being addressed.
Oh, yes. That's beautiful. Oh, mate.
As the famous Janus, senior Janus,
Yes.
gave me the feedback.
Janus
You sound like
Senior.
you're at the back of a shed.
That's just
Yes.
beautiful.
Shout out to Janus Senior.
Janus Senior. That's beautiful.
Well, lads, we had a opening round, 2 games. What it's a very interesting round. No footy on the Saturday.
Yep.
It was
But,
quite turbulent, wasn't it?
We got a bit of a taste test this season to come.
I hated that, I'll be
Yes.
honest.
Yeah.
I know it was due to
was so
unfortunate
weird.
circumstances, but it was like I felt like an addict. I got a taste, and then I had the itches all Saturday, just waiting for like the next game, and then I had to wait till
Yeah.
Sunday afternoon.
Yeah.
Oh, it was so difficult.
Getting blue
Yeah,
balled.
it was
Getting
bad.
blue balled by the AFL.
Oh, bang!
And then a
Yes.
public holiday with nothing on it.
Yep. Fair. But yes, it was due to
that's
some
great.
definite unforeseen circumstances. Never had a game postponed
Yeah.
by a cyclone before.
You
But
never know what's
listen,
going
it's
to
probably
happen.
a good thing because the Gabba is very prone to flooding. You
Yep.
get 3 milliliters of rain and it becomes a swimming pool.
Yep. That's a great call.
As we saw from that video where the bloke was swimming around. Did you say that, Tim?
Yeah. That's
Bloke
the
was
one from
swimming around
like
an oval.
Wait, was that at the Gabba?
nah.
No, it wasn't.
This
the Gabba.
dude just swims
Something
around an
like the
oval.
ground.
Yes.
I mean, if you think about that, I mean, the test match at the Gabba, that had about 15 separate rain delays.
Yeah.
True.
I mean, it is in like a tropical climate. Kind of makes
Yeah.
sense. But
Now, on the topic of wet weather footy, we thought it'd be great to go into some the worst weather games ever held on AFL, ever had on AFL games. Now, I've got 2 and Tim's got 1.
yep.
I'm going to open it up with Sydney versus Gold Coast
Oh, bang.
in, when was it? 2016, round 11,
Oh, that's beautiful.
Ooh,
where there's definitely videos of this on YouTube. There was 200 mil of rain 24 hours before the game started, and pretty much it was a mud bath, and they were
Yes.
just sliding around. It was playable, but it wasn't really footy
Playable.
at that point. It was a pitch. It wasn't. It would have absolutely
mud
cut up
wrestling
the
at one
grass.
point.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Ice skating, we'll call it. Just zinging along the field.
Bit of like
Yeah, but was it really that graceful? I argue it was a bit more of a slug
Now,
of a slug match.
I think there's a bit of an art to knee sliding on the mud in football. It's just something special.
there's nothing
I mean,
better. There's nothing better than a knee slide
Exactly.
on grass. That's like
No way.
kind of thick, but not like because if it's short, you still get like burns or you'll cut your knees on like rocks or something, like a stone that's just randomly on the grass. But if it's like
Yeah.
footy long grass, well, the perfect time is like in between the footy and cricket seasons. Both those months, like
Yes.
September. This is for local footy ovals. Obviously not like the G, because I've only been on the G once when I was bloody walking around. Funny story about that. We went on the tour, like the MCC tour that you can do, and there was a Sheffield Shield game on, and we were in like grade 4, and me and my mates jumped on the field quickly. We just like ran and then hopped over the rope and hopped back.
Dang.
It was very funny.
How'd you rider?
Yes. But yeah, like that time. I
Right.
digress. That time between like September, October for local footy grounds, and like say like March, April, the ground is just in like pristine condition because there's no sport being played on it, and the grass is like optimal length. And then when it's wet, you can just slide. My best day at my local oval was in 2020 October because there'd been no traffic due to COVID, and it rained, and I was running around kicking the footy. And I reckon I was there for 2 hours.
Knee slide heaven.
I was just sliding around, pretending I was bloody Sam Mitchell in the 2012 grand final diving over Nick Malcheski's boot, or trying to anyway. Or what's his name? Was it Jason Blake who tried to smother Paul Chapman's goal? Like just fully diving. It was great. What's your second game, Cookie?
Yeah, the second game's interesting. It is Geelong versus Fremantle in 2004 at Cadinia Park.
Ooh.
Now, this game's not really a wet weather one. It's more of a freezing.
Oh, bang.
I'm saying 6 degrees with an icy wind.
Oh, that's
I'll tell you some
cold.
stories from this game I've read online here. Firstly, Peter Riccardi decided to sit out the last quarter and have a spa because he was suffering from hypothermia.
Oh, bang.
One front for you.
Jeez.
I've got some Freo fans online who basically said local games were called off. People, like what players were getting taken to hospital from local games, but they still played. What happened was the fans were watching, and then at quarter time, apparently I think he was down the end of like the Freo, and there was no like wind protection, and they were just getting absolutely destroyed. So what they did was they ushered all the fans into a glass occupied room with non-playing members of the Geelong squad and other Cat faithful, including Doug Wade and Corey Enright at the time, who was a fringe player.
Bang.
So there you go. So they watched the game in the box, pretty much.
With the team. What a way to meet your heroes.
That would have been down the
Well,
new Selwood stand because there never used to be a roof there.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, and they apparently just absolutely copped it. And apparently players were just having like coffees and tea and stuff at halftime.
Would have the blankets
There you
over
go.
the
That's
knees.
another one for you. Exactly. Put the fingers in the
space
hot water
blankets.
buckets.
Oh,
Yeah.
oh, jeez. As a
It's a feeling that you only know if you played local footy.
as a tennis coach, mate, I know a thing
Ooh,
or two about.
true.
I reckon the coldest
Cold thinking.
morning I've had. I used to do morning coaching. I don't do it anymore, but I used to do morning coaching. I coached at a school that we operate at, and it was 2 degrees, 3 degrees in the morning.
Jeez, that's cold.
After being -2 that night. Keep in mind, this is in Melbourne, so we're pretty close to the sea. That's like rare cold. But if that was cold, my hands were frozen. I used to when I was a kid, I used to give stick to like my coaches who used to wear gloves. Now, bro, oh geez, I don't blame them. I don't wear gloves that much anymore though. I used to wear them more. I don't anymore because just like I don't know, just disrupts the ability to feed the
It's in
ball.
the way.
Gets in the way. Yeah, can't feed the ball properly.
Mm.
But yes, I've got the third and final game. We're back on the rain front. Honorable mention. I don't know if this is bad weather. But what about when it snowed in the Hawthorn Giants game?
Yes.
I,
I thought about
Yes.
that game.
I wouldn't call that bad weather though. I love the clip of like Jeremy Cameron's like shivering, and then the Hawthorn player
Clarko.
next to
Clarko.
him, the Hawthorn player next to him is like looking up, just going, "Oh, wow, it's so cool." But now my game is.
I mean, have you seen that?
Sorry, Janus, you go.
Have you seen that video? Have you seen that video of Clarko? He took his shirt off and he started running around the field.
Running around in the nud.
Boys, it's not that cold.
That's beautiful.
It's not that cold, boys.
Mind
Yeah.
games. Mind games. Like TDUB in the goal kicking battle just recently.
Oh,
Had to-
bang. Big
had to-
cheeky plug.
Had to plug myself there. But anyway,
we go.
I'll get back to it. My game was going to be postponed, but it wasn't. It was round 1, 2018. Gold Coast played North Melbourne in Cairns because of the Commonwealth Games, I believe. Anyway, there was 30 mils of rain in the first quarter.
Bang.
There was 30 mils of rain. And it rained the whole game. And like pockets of the ground were just puddles. And it was torrential.
Yeah.
And of course, like in Cairns, right? It's portable. So it's like portable camera stands and stuff. Some of the cameras couldn't even see the game. That's how much rain it was.
Yeah.
The main broadcast ones, like the side view and a couple of behind the goals ones, were like properly like looked after, so you had a decent. But some of the like ones on ground level, almost like the POV ones of like the fans, they like you couldn't see anything because it was just that bad. I'll tell you what else was bad. What the marketing departments of Fox and Seven, what has gone on over summer? What's
Oh
going on?
yes.
Particularly at Foxtel. Seven is, I'll swallow it. I'll cop it. Sevens is all right. Like, to a point. It's bearable. It's not horrific. But
Well-
Fox, on the other hand, what is going on? Janus, what is going on at Foxtel?
I mean, it looks like an NFL scoreboard, doesn't it?
Bang.
And every
Worse.
every 5 minutes or after every goal, guess what we see? We don't see who's kicked the goal. We see the commentators.
Yeah.
They come up with a little picture of a commentator. I saw Matt Hill probably 5 times throughout the course of the game yesterday. I didn't need to see him.
It
I
was
saw him
so
35
funny.
times. Yes, I know Dermot Brereton is commentating on the game. I don't need to be told after every goal.
We can hear him.
The thing, I mean, if you look close enough, if you look close enough at the game, if you look hard enough, you'll see the game behind the scoreboard.
Yes. It's a great call.
That is
But the
great.
thing is with the seven scoreboard, I saw something, mate, because it's obviously in the center of the screen, which does seem a bit weird. But it probably helps the it probably helps with social media clips and stuff. You can see the scoreboard.
Yeah, that's a
Ooh.
good.
Like,
That's a great point.
I haven't not thought about
Unlike
that.
it-
That's a good point.
Unlike an Instagram post or something,
It's a great
you can
point.
see the scoreboard in the middle. So yeah, I mean, that might
That's a very
be
good
it.
point
But
because it's
with
often
the
cut off.
with the Foxtel one, I mean, what the hell is going on there?
Yeah,
It literally
joke.
takes up a third of the screen.
I
Not
saw
literally,
someone
but-
say the Foxtel one's better if you're at a pub or something. You
Yeah, you can see it. Yeah,
so
you can
far
see
away,
it.
which I understand.
I get that.
It's still like it's sort.
Yeah.
I mean, it's sort of a throwback to that like 06 scoreboard where it was like the sort of grey one. I think like Eddie Betts kicked his first goal with that sort of scoreboard,
Yeah.
but it's still abnormally large.
It's ridiculous. Like, no sport in the world has a scoreboard graphic that big. Seven,
No,
I haven't thought about the social media aspect. That makes sense, Janus. That's a good point, actually. But, like, Seven is just an American scoreboard. Seven is like it's the AFL clearly trying to grow the game overseas. Because, like, you look at the
Yeah.
NBA, you look at the NFL, they have, like, the scoreboard in the middle a lot of the time, down the bottom.
Yeah.
So that they're obviously trying to tap into the American market. But sports like, and even cricket as well. That's what the Foxtel scoreboard is, to be honest. It's a cricket scoreboard.
cricket. Yeah, that's such a good call.
It's a cricket scoreboard.
But what I noticed, I mean, at the halftime score or the quarter time score, the Foxtel they had like a little box at the top right, and that was perfect. It was out of the way. You could see what it was. You could see with the teams, and it was, it wasn't egregious. This bottom scoreboard, it's egregious.
Just make the font bigger.
Yep.
We love it.
Of like the, I don't know. It wasn't. Someone just needs
I
a
thought
bloody.
the one from last season was really good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We're not used to a change this big as well. That people
No, we're
struggle
not.
with change, like generally. Like
I'll get used to it. We'll get used to it.
yeah, we will. But like you look at every scoreboard change throughout history, it's like it's slight, it's minimal. This is just bang. This is just woo. This is just like
It's a massive
big
change.
change. It's a big change.
And it came out of nowhere.
Yeah, but so does every like
Anyway.
scoreboard change. But still.
Yeah.
Did the Hawks win come
Anyway,
out of
so the
nowhere,
game's
Cookie?
at hand.
Did the
Yes.
Hawks win come out of nowhere?
Yeah.
Were you expecting it? Is the big question.
Oh, I tipped them, but was I expecting? I wasn't expecting that mature. I'll tell you what. When Sydney were coming back, we saw it that many times last year, and they would just kill teams and win by 4 goals. And I was like, when Nick Blakey dobbed that one from 50, I was like, well,
It's a fair
honestly,
kick.
we've played pretty well, but we're in trouble now.
Yeah,
Respectfully,
especially in that
we're in
third
trouble.
quarter. Especially in that third
Yeah.
quarter where Blakey was breaking lines. Warner was
Warner
breaking
was
lines.
taking the piss.
They played with a lot more drive. They were going up the middle of the ground. They were playing with speed. Your back line, Barras, Battle, Sicily played really well. Scrimshaw,
Stood
little
up.
shout out to Scrimshaw. They stood up and
Yeah,
they
Scrimshaw
absorbed
was
all that
good.
pressure. Because Sydney, they were down by what, 4 goals or something. They tried that they kicked a few in a row, but Nash got a goal back. They halted that momentum.
Yeah,
That was a
Nashy.
that was a big
Love
kick.
Nashy.
That was a big goal.
A
Talk
big
about
kick,
clutch
big goal.
momentum goals. That's a big goal.
Mm.
Well done, Connor Nash.
Anyway, it was a great win. But one thing we wanted to talk about was Sammy Mitchell's body language.
Yes.
Yeah, Sammy Mitchell is a pretty confident bloke, I would say. He always has been.
Cue
Even
the
as a
needle.
player.
Cue the needle clip
Boy,
against the
The
Bombers.
needle, the bang.
Exactly. He's not
Cheeky.
afraid. Let's say that. Let's say that.
He,
When
bel he believes
we
in
saw him
himself.
pre-game, exactly, he believes in himself, believes in his team. But when we saw him pre-game, I was like, oh, geez, he's feeling it because he was taking like a leaf. Jordan Lewis described him as boring. It's not usually Sammy Mitchell. So you could tell he was feeling, you could tell he felt the weight of the game because he knew that if Hawthorn get blown out here, it could be a long year. Still could be a long year, but that was very interesting. And yeah, we'll see what he's like next week against the Dons. I reckon, I don't know. See what happens. But it's a watch. It's definitely a watch.
With that cookie, especially in the midst of the release of that documentary, that Full Sweat documentary, Hawthorn all of a sudden have a massive weight of media expectation. A massive weight. You know, they got a full hour-long documentary after losing a semi-final. So now all the punters are getting on top of them. You know, their pre-season has been promoted to the rest of the league. And to be honest, watching that documentary, I didn't think it put a particularly sensational light on the Hawthorn preseason. There was a lot more, Sam Mitchell had a lot more criticism of his players than I thought he had of like an encouragement. Like there was a big motif of driving the standards. They weren't driving the standards. They weren't looking at the details. They weren't taking it seriously. But all of a sudden, there's just so much more expectation, and they've come off a pretty poor loss against the Dogs in the preseason. So you can tell that he wants them to do well, and he's feeling the expectation.
Just on that is 100% translated into their mannerisms on the field for
their
now.
Playing style. 100%.
For now, like they've gone from this what were they called, the Hollywood Hawks, Hawk Ball.
The Hawk Ball.
Like they definitely were. Like I saw no brash, outrageous celebrations. I saw just. I mean, McDonald, I feel like tried to get one going when he got his cheapie. But then I think if the thought went through his brain, hang on a minute, it's the only kick I've had all game.
Yeah.
But as a Hawthorn supporter, Cookie, do you feel they were definitely more, what's the word? Yeah.
I do, definitely. It's going to be very interesting to see what's going to happen over the next month. We've got Essendon, Carlton. We've got Collingwood and Gather Round. And if you want to pull out a Selly and Geelong Easter Monday, those are the 4 games to pull out the Selly because there's going to be a heap of people watching.
Yeah.
So, look, probably give them a week and they'll probably start doing just completely rogue celebrations. But honestly, you can't be celebrating when you can lose, especially against Sydney finished first last year. You can't be taking the piss. It's the Swans, but I liked it. It was definitely good. Don't get me wrong. They will when Guinea gets up and about, they're going to start acting like idiots. But you know what? As they should. But Guinea didn't get near it. So,
the thing is, I thought in that game they found a good middle ground between sort of playing that sort of flamboyant style. They still move the ball quite fast. They use their creative players like Scrimshaw to move the ball quite fast. Will Day took the piss. Meek took the piss. James Warple was very instrumental with clearances and stuff, and especially in the first half. So they know how to move the ball well. and so that's that sort of flamboyance. But they were mature. They were mature out the back. They didn't overplay. There was no post-match celebration.
There was no selfie.
So
Which is interesting.
sorry, yeah,
Thank
post-match
goodness.
selfie. So I thought in the game they were far more stoic and far more mature in how they went about it, which to be honest, I liked.
That could also
I
be
hate seeing when they're up and about.
that could also be because the game was very sloppy. And you're going to get that
Yeah.
in like a
Yeah.
game, like a first month of the year game, especially in Sydney where it'll be fast track, wet as well. Those sorts of games suit Hawthorn to a T, sloppy games, because the skill level of the Hawks is generally higher than the opposition. Like, how many teams would you say have better skills than Hawthorn? Not decision making, like skills. There's not many teams out there.
Mm.
Like Hawthorn, I would say are the top
What do you
4.
What do you think about the Swans, TDUB? What about from their side?
I thought their midfield was subpar for a team of that much talent. I know Warner was good, Heaney was patchy, but I mean the Hawks were just so dominant. Like plus 14 at clearance. James Warple was running amok. He was exiting the front of stoppage so much. And Day and forward line and centre bounce was also very good. Meek was good for the game, but I would say Grundy was okay, but that was a great battle.
I feel like
That was a great contest.
Yeah, I feel like he settled into the game, Grundy. I
did.
thought
He definitely
Meek dominated early, but Grundy clawed his way back into it. So I thought towards the back half of the game, I don't think he was that bad.
Yeah. But then on the front, like the end of the offensive dominance, I feel like the Hawks mids really defended the ground well. Like Sydney, besides that like 10-minute third quarter momentum burst, which every team's going to have their time in the sun, they just defended the ground so well for 3.5 quarters. Like they were so good. Like Sydney were just turning it over through the middle of the ground when they went wide, when they switched it. Hawthorn just defended the ground really well. But that also comes off the back of their half back and full back line. Like I think, don't quote me on this stat. This is based on my own very limited research. Hawthorn won the intercept mark count like 21-6 or something. Like it might have been a bit. Sydney might have had a few more, but Hawthorn was like plus 13-15 in favour of the Hawks. Like that is a lot of intercept marks. And a lot of them came from Barras, Sicily, and Scrimshaw. Scrimshaw definitely the underrated. Just on Sicily. How is that mark near the end on the 50 in the hole? Seven deep in the pack.
Oh yeah.
Stuck the mitts up and just hung onto it. That was such a good grab.
He finds a way, the old sis.
And then even his second mark in the hole in the wet at the front of the top of the goal square.
At his knees.
That was a big
Where he
mark.
gave it to Finn McGuinness and it gave me a
Yeah.
literal heart attack.
It's like when
Sorry,
Owies
just
handballed
on
it
that,
to himself in the square in that final. Oh my word, I nearly died that day. But
on that intercept marking sort of dominance that Hawthorn had, I thought they intercept marked and they rebounded so well. They rebounded quickly off the intercept marks. And I do want to make a note of a particular play that really caught my eye. When Scrimshaw used his left foot, he pierced the ball through two defenders, through two Sydney players in the middle of the ground, finds Cam McKenzie, and that sets up Will Day's soccer goal in the first quarter. I thought that was very, very characteristic of Hawthorn that game.
brave ball movement. Cookie, what are your thoughts on
about
Sydney?
the Giants.
What are your thoughts on Sydney, Cookie?
Sydney.
Just quickly before we move forward.
I think their forward line did not look good.
Yeah, their connection.
I mean, our back
looked
line
average.
looked good, but still, it didn't like. Apart from like a couple of free kicks to Amadi or something, I don't know. Like Papley got going early. I don't know. Sydney's forward line is a worry. They put McCann forward. Like, is that the answer? Don't know.
It's the answer
I
if you
think
can
McCartney
replace
leads up
him.
the ground well, but like, did he have much impact? Probably not.
He's not a natural
Heaney couldn't
forward.
get going either, but I think we'll see what they have against Brisbane next week. They have, by the way, Sydney's run in the next 2 months is so hard.
Well, they
I
finished
don't have it
first.
up, but they're versing every good team.
Yeah.
Seriously, they're going to be found out quickly if they're
They're
not good. Now,
I mean, Lewis Melican's
Timmy.
their fullback.
Yeah, exactly.
No disrespect to
That's the
Lewis
problem.
Melican, but you've got, it's all good and well to move McCartan forward if you have an alternative. Like Kemp, right? Carlton moved Kemp forward. That's fine. You got Wiedering back. It's not like Kemp was their key defender. You know? That was a brave... It's a brave move from Dane Cox. Because it leaves them liable at one end to a good key forward, but it also means the forwards that haven't stood up in big moments are now under even more pressure. You were saying, Cookie?
Yeah.
Janus, what do you think about transition to Sunday Arvo, Western Sydney?
What did I think?
McRae versus Kinsley. No, I want to know what you thought about the coaches, the heavyweight boxing fight.
Heavyweight?
Well,
yes.
What happened? McRae saw Bedford give a bit of stick to Dacos when he was coming off. McRae told him to, I don't know, some choice words, but as soon as he sees the big boy Adam Kingsley, the brick shithouse, what does he do? He sits back down.
Train leg kingers, I dare ya.
Fly in name, fly in nature.
Not in Western Sydney, very dangerous place.
Listen, he's a big boy. He's a big boy. I probably wouldn't F with Kingers.
As Victorians, we've got to watch our mouth on Western Sydney.
Do you think he should have been fined, McRae? He got off. No, he didn't get a fine. Should McRae have been fined $20,000 like Hinkley did? Like Hinkley got for the Ginnivan antics.
What do you think, Cookie?
Could have been fined, but maybe not 20.
20,000 is a lot.
I don't even think Hinkley should have been fined.
Warnings are stupid. I do.
But
of course you do.
As a whole,
but only because I'm a Hawthorn supporter.
Yeah. See, I don't. I just think. Look, I don't know what McRae said. First of all, I haven't watched the Hinkley clip in a while, so I haven't tried to lip read what he said. But Ginnivan messed up there. I know Hinkley shouldn't be the one to dish it back and be graceful in defeat.
Definitely agree.
But on the point of what Janus was going on about before, if that was Clarko, if that was the Scott brothers, if that was Goodwin, if that was Ross Lyon, if that was Dimmer, if that was Bevo, if that was Ken Hinkley,
they're getting fined.
Why is McRae no different? Why is he protected in that space?
And coaches these days are coaching from the boundary a lot more than they used to, so there's going to be more of this. I guarantee it. Especially if Dacos gets tagged every week.
But
I was going to start losing it.
Yeah, should it be allowed? Should it be allowed? Should the coaches, if they're coaching down on the boundary, should they be allowed to put a mark on the game?
They're not.
By maybe talking to the other opposition. They probably shouldn't. They shouldn't be.
It's not a shouldn't. They're not supposed to.
Yeah. Well, then he got off.
Yeah,
very lenient from the AFL.
Or should they just suspend him to the box?
They did that to Clarko, didn't they?
Yeah.
Remember last year when Jimmy Webster
the slur
preseason game when Jimmy Webster smacked up
Simpkin.
He ran through Jai Simpkin.
Ran through. It's an understatement.
Clarko used some choice words, and the AFL they said you're on a 2-year suspended sentence. Go up to the box.
For a year?
I think so. I don't think he can't coach on the boundary. I don't think.
Really?
I think so.
Oh, that's funny.
Yeah.
On the Nick Dacos, Janus, what do you think of that one? The Bedford nullifying
I think Nick Dacos, he fell victim to the Toby Bedford effect. He fell
Dang.
victim. Bedford, I thought, was very good because, especially in the first half, I mean, Dacos still racked up 17 touches or whatever. But the thing is, it's not the number that matters, it's the effectiveness. Because Bedford forced him laterally a lot. Laterally, I should say. Forced him laterally a lot.
They can
and he
still
forced
be
him
effective.
backwards a lot. He forced him backwards. Dacos only had about 60 meters gained
That's the
in the
buzzword.
first half.
The meters gained.
So I thought Bedford was really good. His pressure, his hunt on the ball, and Bedford sort of combined with a lot of the Giants' engine room and their half forward. They pressured the ball carrier so hard. Like there was a whole period in the second quarter where Collingwood had no time. Darcy Jones was chasing them up. O'Halloran was chasing them up. Allahan was chasing them up. Toby Green was chasing them up. They had no time on the ball and they had to rush their kicks. So in the third quarter, when Collingwood sort of dominating the inside 50s, I think it was about 17-4 or something, it didn't matter because all the defensive mids were pressuring, or the offensive mids were pressuring the ball carriers. The Giants had time to set up, and that's why Taylor was so instrumental. He took 9 intercept marks because the balls were getting rushed, and he can read the players so well.
Jeez, Taylor was
Definitely.
good. Taylor was really, really good.
He was a brick wall. How good was his pack mark in the first quarter coming through like 4 blokes?
Yeah,
Such a good mark. But he forced
Hope
so
he
much
just stays
repeat
healthy.
entries.
yeah, I
Yeah.
agree.
He hasn't
he
gotten an
stays-
All-Australian, hasn't he?
No,
Purely off the fact that he doesn't play a full season.
I got a question on that. Who are better footballers, Lever, Aaliyah, or Wiedering, and Taylor? Who are you
As in
taking?
pick one.
Who are you taking, Lever or Aaliyah, or Wiedering and Taylor? Like, order them from 1 to 4. Cookie, order them 1 to 4. Who are you taking?
Am I taking Lever in his prime or Lever now? Because I think he was better 3 years ago.
3 years ago. So they're primes. Who are you taking?
I am taking. What do they have to do? No, that's too many questions.
Just play their role.
Look,
Play
I'm
their
not gonna-
position.
As defenders,
I'm gonna
as defenders.
take. I'm gonna take Aaliyah last.
Yep.
I don't trust him.
He's never played well in a big game, I
Even-
swear.
Exactly.
Oh, there was one
then-
final he played against Geelong where he kept marking the ball. That was like 2021.
Yeah,
Oh, I remember.
qualifying finals
We
don't
kept-
count.
So funny.
We kept kicking it to him.
I don't count
That's funny,
qualifying
yes.
finals as big games because they're not sudden death.
I'm probably gonna go Wiedering, Lever, Taylor, Aaliyah.
Yeah.
I think Jake Lever. People forget how good Jake Lever was, and Wiedering. I trust Wiedering. Like he has pretty much single-handedly tried to defend 6 blokes for the last 3 years. Done a pretty good job.
If anything happens to him, Carlton are done. Their season is
Wiedering,
over.
yeah.
This is a big call. I don't think there is a player that is more important to a team than Wiedering. Like, Janus, can you think of anyone, or Cookie, can you think of a player that is more important to a team than Jacob Wiedering is to Carlton? Like, there's not many like him. Because you go you pick a midfielder. You can't really say a midfielder is because, like,
What about the Bont? If the Bont goes from the Dogs, what are they?
they got Libber and Richards.
Yeah, it's true.
Yes, the Bont's
As a
close.
backman, no.
Oh, yeah,
No.
as a backman.
Carlton's backline so
Yeah, the Carlton
I agree with you.
backline is under massive pressure this year. But
Especially with someone like Silvani playing a sort of new defender role.
Yes,
But,
hopefully it's in the genes.
Yeah.
I'd love him to round bloody in the first 6 weeks be in like the All-Australian discussion. Jeez, that'd be nice.
Yeah.
I've got a feeling it could be a selection discussion though. Could be going back to the 2s. Even though he's not going to play in the 1s for a while. But
Now, I want to bring up some unsung heroes. We
Good
love
call.
talking about them.
this is the first official like
And
voting.
exactly, this is important. So, just for those at home, we're going to keep a running record of each week. We're each going to bring an unsung hero to the table from the round of footy, and we're going to decide between ourselves 3, 2, and 1 votes. At the end of the year, we'll have the unsung hero champion.
The Brownlow unsung hero sort of thing.
The
Exactly,
unsung hero,
exactly.
yes. Same voting as the Brownlow though. 3, 2, 1 for each round. And it can't be like a
Janus, I want you to-
superstar. But
I want you to kick it off here.
Me?
Who's
Alright.
your unsung hero?
This guy very much he impressed me a lot when I was watching the game. He popped up in big moments. He was involved in big moments. He got the ball when it mattered. I'm going with from the Giants. I'm going with Xavier O'Halloran.
Bang, that is unsung.
That's
I
very
thought he
Definition of
was-
unsung.
unsung hero.
He was so good. He had 13 possessions. He had 2
Bang.
goals. But a big note to make: 10 of them were contested. He had 10 contested
Ooh.
possessions.
Disposals
He
are
was so
different
good out the
from
back.
possessions, Janus.
He put his head over the ball. He was involved in the
Yeah.
play. He, a particular play. There's 2 particular plays I want to make note of. There was one where the ball fell out the back of the pack. He was the first one onto it. He gives the ball to Darcy Jones. Darcy Jones takes 2 bounces and kicks a great checkside goal. And there was another bit of old-fashioned footy. He bumps the shit out of Lipinski when the Pies are making their third quarter sort of run. He goes bang on Lipinski, gets him dropping the ball, and picks it up. So I thought he was very, very good.
What about you, T-Dub?
I've gone with a player on a losing side. This bloke is one of the most chronically underrated footballers in the AFL. Darcy Cameron from Collingwood. He was phenomenal. He was really good. I know he wasn't up against Briggs, but still, 37 hitouts, 22 touches, and 19 contested possessions. That's a bloody good effort for a ruckman in the modern day.
He
of
is pretty
footy.
underrated,
That's
actually.
That's a very good.
He doesn't get enough, does he?
No, he definitely does not get his flowers. But he
hasn't come from much. Like, I remember when he came to the league, like, people had massive doubts. And now look at him.
he's playing very well.
He's
He's a premiership
one of
ruckman.
Collingwood's most consistent players,
Yeah, he
especially last year.
But even
was
still,
so reliable.
he's definitely underrated. Like still, it's like guys like trying to think of a comparison. Like someone like Shane Edwards from Richmond. He played 300 games and was a gun, but he was always underrated. Like I feel like he never ever
300
truly
games.
got his flowers. You know what I mean?
I know what you mean. He always kicked 2, I swear.
Yeah.
He's like a Dylan Moore, but for 300 games.
Yes. What about you, Cookie? Who's your unsung hero?
Performed. Mine. If you said this bloke was going to play well before the game, you would think he's unsung, but he has had some praise in the media because he shut down one of the most dangerous players in the AFL, Wiz. So I'm giving my unsung hero to Sammy Wicks. Now,
Jeez, he was
and
good.
Dean Cox as well, because shout out Dean Cox because he moved him back. He said to us he's going to play back, and he played well. Wiz literally didn't get near it.
He didn't have a kick.
Wore him like an
And the
absolute
Wiz is
glove.
like almost the barometer. It's not his fault the bloke's lost. Like, he shut down the barometer. If the Wiz
his
is playing
job.
well, it's bloody hard to beat Hawthorn.
Yeah.
And he did very well, especially in the wet, where the Wiz loves just like getting frees and stuff. Where he just got him holding the ball like 3 times. Really, I think he kind of changed it a little bit. Like when Hawthorn were up and about, he caught the Wiz a few times, and then this one's when he kicked a couple. So yeah, Sammy Wicks. Spot on.
And just on Sammy Wicks, you can tell he's played well on his direct opponent when he got the Wizards trying to play for free kicks. That's how you know you
Exactly.
got them.
The Wizard always tries to play for free kicks.
Exactly.
But to be fair, if I was 4
does.
foot, I would also try and play for free kicks. He's not a big dude.
Oh,
The
God.
Wiz is so small. He's a little midget.
Actually, that's what I was thinking. Is the Wiz taller than Jagger Smith?
How tall is how tall?
Because I swear Jagger Smith looks tiny.
Nick
Is everyone
Watson
smaller than
is
the Wiz?
170 centimeters. Has he got you covered, Janus?
Oh, Jack.
I think he's got me covered.
That's Jagger Smith's 6 foot.
Oh shit!
Yeah.
I thought Jagger Smith was like.
No, he's just
small.
light. He's like 75 kilos.
I think he's got me covered there too.
All right, so we give him the 3, 2, 1s.
I reckon Wicks is the
I mean,
three.
how- Yeah,
He wore
You
him
think?
like a glove. Like the Wizard,
he did.
the thing is, you gotta appreciate small defenders because they never ever get appreciated, I feel. He wore him like a glove. Like the Wiz literally did nothing. And the play in the last quarter when he tackled someone, got up, and then laid another massive tackle on Sicily. I think he tackled Watson, then got up and tackled Sicily, and Sicily just dropped the ball. Like he was. I've got no
Yeah,
idea
exactly.
what his stat line was. I'm open to further discussion, but my order would probably be
All right, we'll get.
Wicks, O'Halloran, Cameron.
I think I agree with that. O'Halloran,
All right.
winning side, played well.
Yeah, kicked 2
He
goals.
was involved. He kicked 2 goals and he was involved, and he set up a lot. He was involved in passages.
All right, that's our 3, 2, 1.
I'm happy
Wicks,
with that.
O'Halloran, and Cameron.
Yes. Let us know your
Beautiful.
unsung hero in the comments of our various social media platforms.
Social medias.
Yes.
Now we've had some other news, not footy related. Sir Stephen Smith has hung up the boots from ODI Test cricket with a bit of ODI cricket, not ODI Test cricket.
Stephen Peter Devereaux Smith.
Exactly. Now, if I had to pick a smudge memory, just personally from ODI cricket, the one that comes to mind straight away is when he hit the winning runs.
Yep.
What was it? The 2015 World Cup.
Yep.
I remember that.
was a big moment.
And he wasn't old there, was he? That was the beginning of a bit of a leader in smudge.
Yeah, he was.
Well, he
he'd
had
started his
105 off 93.
What,
Yeah.
that game?
Not in the final.
Yeah.
He didn't make 100 in the
Not
final.
in the final. No, not in the final. Or maybe he did. No.
Nah, he didn't. Clark made
No,
70.
they were chasing.
Oh no, wrong one. Sorry.
I know
When
Clark
did you make
70
100,
in
Janus?
one.
Tell us.
It went out.
Bring it up here. No, you keep going. Sorry.
Smudge is a legend, though. He really, really is just like.
He is.
It's unfortunate that what happened with the obvious, but
Yep.
I mean, he will go down as in probably make a basketball reference. He will go down in my starting 5 all time favorite
It's phenomenal.
sportsman ever across of the 35 teams that I follow. He is a walk-up starting
That's
5.
right.
Like to watch. I watched, I reckon, every ball of his innings in the 2019 Ashes. Like, it just hits different, man. Just watching him make 140 in the second innings at Edgbaston, I was basically in tears. I was like, you are my hero, Stephen Smith. To go through what you went through when Look, up to interpretation whether you believe he was properly in the wrong. He let it go, the ball tampering, but he took one. He's like, I'm the captain, it's my fault. And he's come back and just gone like it.
Bang.
It's bang. I know he's still
Smith.
playing Test cricket, which is great, but love Smudge. Good ode to Smudge there.
Now,
I know.
little quick fact with his ODI career, one of the most interesting ones I could find, kind of. The amount of balls that he faced in every innings amounted to 6,669.
Oh,
So there we
bang.
go.
What does Janus say? I like that number.
I like
69.
average
I like
of
that number.
43, 1200s. Great career. I think he had about 8 most catches ever. ODI cricketers for Australia.
Sounds about right.
Yep.
Well done, Smudge.
Shout out Smudge.
Well done. You're a good man. Now, we've analysed the behemoth out of the last opening round, which probably won't ever return, thank goodness. But now it's time to move forward. So I guess, obviously there's 9 rounds, 9 games. We're not going to preview all of them. So we're just going to give a couple of big watches for you guys to keep an eye on throughout the weekend. So Janus, what is one of your what's something to look for? What can the fans look for? What's like a player or a storyline or something that could just be big this week?
All right. I've gone we have 2 each, right?
Yeah, just a couple each.
Right. My first one, I've gone with the Geelong Freo game.
Yep.
And I want a watch to be how Geelong will ruck against Jackson. Probably for the last couple of years, especially last year, the ruck was an issue that Geelong had. Sam DeConing's trained all preseason as a ruck. How will they do it? Will they use Stanley to give him a chop out? Will DeConing be the primary ruck? How is he going to go up against Jackson? That's something I'm very interested to see, because Jackson, when he's on, geez, he's damaging. He's good in the ruck and he can go forward as well. So, yeah, I want to see how Geelong go up against Jackson in the ruck and how that will translate to the midfield as well.
Yep. That's a good shout. Cookie?
What's your other one?
Yeah.
Oh,
Or I'll go
my other one.
Yeah, Janus, go the other one, yeah.
All right, and the other one I had, it's a game up in Adelaide. It is Adelaide. Adelaide taking on the Saints.
Yep.
And I just want to see, I want Adelaide to have a statement win over the Saints. I just want to see them.
Put him to bed.
Obviously, last week I said I've got Adelaide bolting up. I want to see if they mean business. I want to see them thump the Saints.
These are the wins you got to bank. If you lose
Exactly
these
right.
ones, it gets very tough.
They're cherry ripe.
It's at home as well.
Saints are cherry ripe
It's
to
home
get
as well.
flogged.
I want to see the 3-headed monster go to town on the Saints back line.
A 145-point win over the St Kilda, just like the Hawks did that one time.
Back in 2014. Bang.
Jalen Baker's kicked 6. Anyway, back to topic.
Yep.
He might have not kicked 6, by the way. But anyway, I like to think that he did. My watch, the last game of the round, the Eagles versus the Suns.
Yep.
If the Suns are fair income, they'll win this game by 6 goals, at least. And if they don't, these are the wins. Remember last year? Last year, they just couldn't get an away win, right? They could never win away. It was the Mac Andrew win that broke the deadlock, I think.
And that was only that was
and
one.
That gets us really excited. But anyway,
that made me so happy. Oh, jeez, that was a good win.
Bank these away wins.
That got me up and about.
If you can't beat the Eagles in Perth, yeah, it's just that these are the ones Gold Coast have to get. They've probably got an easy fixture from the AFL, the love child. So,
and it
has
has to show. It has to show to us that they have addressed their away form last year.
Yeah, exactly.
They just
They
have to
lost to
win.
the Eagles last year as well. They have to
They,
win.
they have to win. They can't muck around. They can't play 2.5 quarters and they
Take
have
the
to win.
piss, yeah.
All right, my next one. This Pies versus Port game is just looking at me dead in the face, and it's looking at me. Oh, this is Saturday
The
night
damn
at the
Houston
G.
Cup.
Exactly, but if Collingwood
Joe
lose
Richards as well.
the Joe Richards Cup,
The
Yeah.
he played good in the preseason game.
Joe Richards Cup.
That's great.
If there's anyone who's an unsung hero, his name's Joey Richards. So look out for him.
Yeah.
I want to see how the
In the
Pies
o-
respond.
In the
They can't be
35 as
cramping again.
well.
They
No.
can't be cramping again. They can't shit the bed like they did against the Giants. I don't know what Port are going to bring, but
Not much.
I don't expect that much from Port. I don't expect much. But they have to bank this win. What about you, Ted?
Voodoo.
I reckon there's going to be
What are you looking forward to?
I reckon there's going to be a boil over under the roof. I reckon North are going to beat the Dogs.
Well, here we go.
I reckon Bontempelli going
Out.
out will just shake up their midfield. And I reckon I've just got a funny feeling North could just... There's always an upset in round one. Now, my heart's saying Richmond are going to beat Carlton, but that's just me being pessimistic. But I think
Can't happen.
North can beat the Dogs. I just think that could be a big upset. Like we will open the show if North beat the Dogs. Like that's how big the upset would be if that took place.
100%. Be three
I
North
think-
players as an unsung heroes.
Pretty much.
Yeah.
But
I think North have been building.
well, I just think it's time for them
Like, I
to
don't think-
actually play some
I don't
proper
think that's
football.
particularly, yeah. I don't think that's a particularly shocking take because I think they've been building very much for the last 2 years. They've topped up.
No.
Oh, the Caleb Daniel Cup, by the way. Caleb Daniel Cup.
Bang. There we
Yeah,
go.
true.
Um,
Darling,
It'll be interesting
Parker
to see how he goes.
have come in.
Darling, Parker,
Sure.
Daniel,
You're telling me
Sheasel.
Sheasel's not going to have 50 off half back?
Tristan Sherry as well. That'll be a good battle. Sherry in English.
Sherry English. No Bontempelli.
English needs a good year.
Like,
Bontempelli,
I think
though.
that's a boil over waiting to happen. And my other one,
Who's guarding Darcy just quietly? Who's
Comben?
who's going to stop
Fit?
him?
Comben?
Comben.
Yeah.
What did he finish the? Did he finish the year? No, he finished the year back and moved
Is
him
he-
back, didn't they?
Is he?
Yeah,
They did.
Is
He
he
started
injured?
forward, but
No.
he started playing well back.
Coleman Jones is injured. That's who's injured.
Comben. That's
Like,
a,
do they put Aiden
interesting
Core on Sam Darcy? Because I don't.
No.
Oh, Aiden Core as well.
I don't think. I don't. Listen, I think
Really
if Aiden Core gets put on Sam Darcy's licking his lips.
Yeah, but then who does Core
he's got to
play?
make the he's got to make the
on
lid.
Norton.
Like the
Yeah, Core
roof
plays
is
on Norton.
hunting
Comben
ground.
plays on Darcy.
Hmm.
100%.
Right, your other one.
So I'm going to continue on from your prediction on the Ds last week. I reckon Petrarca and Oliver are going to combine for 60 disposals and 3 goals. And they're playing the Giants. You've only got one at Toby Bedford.
That would be a big win.
I didn't say Melbourne
True.
are going to win.
And
I just think,
The Toby Bedford Cup as well.
bang.
Here we go.
I
Just quietly.
just think Petrarca and Oliver looked so good in the preseason game, and they look so fit and ready. I reckon they're going to combine for 60. Either 30 each, or 35 and 25, or 40 and 20, or 50 and 10. They'll combine for 60 and have 3 goals each. Oh, not 3 goals each, 3 goals
Yeah.
combined. So that's my
Yeah.
bold predictions.
Jesse Hogan playing?
Jesse
Who?
Hogan. Nah, he's still got broken
Jesse
thumb.
Hogan. Yeah.
They break his thumb. Yeah.
Yeah.
But it'll be interesting to see how they go, especially like they obviously looked really good in the preseason game. But obviously, amidst all that media speculation from last year, they'll have a point to prove this year.
Oh, yeah. It's on the G, too.
So,
It's on the G,
100%.
Sunday afternoon
It-
footy. That's game on.
are the ski slopes open?
No, not yet.
It's too hot.
Yeah,
It's
not
too
yet.
hot
So
for
they-
skiing.
Too hot, Janus.
Yeah, so if you're a Melbourne fan, go down. Go down.
Get down to the G.
Get
Go
out of those
support the
Toorak
Demons.
mansions and get down
Just
to the
scan that
G.
card in and walk through.
That's it.
Show your support to the boys.
That's a
Not that you
great.
want them there.
That's a great call. No, we only want them there
Yeah.
so that when they lose, we can laugh at them.
Yeah. And don't forget your charcuterie boards. That's amazing.
Yes, lazy
Okay.
Susans. Anyway, boys, it's been another great show. Thank you, everyone, so much for
Yes.
tuning in. Hope your team wins. Do the Cats beat the Dockers, Janus?
I'll say yes by 7 points.
Do the Hawks beat the Bombers on Friday night?
I really hope so. You're going to see a dark version of me. I'm saying Hawks by 32.
Or bang. And I will back the Blues
the
in.
Blues-
How many
are
of
they
the- and
getting
how
up?
much of the Blues are winning by? What's the margin?
See, the line is
Is it
actually
160 or 10?
No, Kerno's not playing. It might only be 80. No, I'm kidding. I reckon Blues will win like 22 points or something. They won't play.
Ooh,
They
okay.
not. They won't be mature enough to fully put them away. They'll win by a couple of goals. Anyway,
Okay.
adios.
Okay.
Thank you all so much for listening.